Hello and welcome. We're in the centre of Manchester tonight to investigate a pub with a rich history that dates back to 1656, the Shakespeare pub. This is Ghost Dimension Flying Solo.
Coming up on Ghost Dimension.
That was weird. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Clear communication with spirit.
You see, that's intelligent.
We would have caught that on the audio. There was a noise.
Ghost Dimension.
The pub was built in 1656, but not here. Its original home was Chester, and it was called the Shambles. And piece by piece, it was shipped into Manchester down a Manchester Ship Canal. The pub is said to be haunted by two spirits, that of a barmaid and the other of a chef. In this very room, it used to be the barmaid's bedroom, and it's said that the chef came in and sadly raped her. She felt so ashamed that she set herself alight with candles. Later on, the chef also hung himself in this very room. You may have noticed that the dates don't quite stack up, and that's because these suicides happened in 1890, when this building was in Chester, and now it's in Manchester. Does that prove that ghosts can move with the buildings themselves? Flecky Bennett, welcome to Ghost Dimension.
Oh, thank you very much for inviting me along.
Well, happy to have you here.
It's nice to be here.
Oh, good, I'm glad you enjoy it. Tell us what it is that you do.
Yeah, well, I've been playing this character now for 8 years.
Yeah.
Flecky Bennett, named after a cinema in Preston, actually, an old cinema, because the term Flecky is somebody that's disgusting and full of fleas and rats.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a bit of a dirty, I call myself shabby chic, actually.
Shabby chic.
Yeah, shabby chic character. And yeah, I've been doing performances here in Manchester and London for the last 8 years. And I just do something different for an audience. And this is one of the locations I use the Shakespeare in for one of my performances.
Because your company is Manchester Ghost Walks.
ManchesterGhostWalk.co.uk.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I do 6 different ghost walks in Manchester.
Yeah.
And 1 in London. But inside this location we are now is the strangest one that I do, because it's incredibly haunted.
So you like this one because it's haunted?
Oh, definitely, yes.
And I believe this place is haunted by a maid.
Yep.
And a chef who both committed suicide here.
Yes. Yeah. Would you like the names of them people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's Scarlett, who was the maid or barmaid, and she worked here in the 1890s. And yeah, the chef, a man called Thatch.
Thatch.
Yeah, quite a strange name, Thatch. Don't know if it was short for Thatcher, but Thatch. And apparently he got a bit besotted with the maid. She was beautiful, and he kept trying it on with her, and she kept politely rejecting him. But one night he decided, and he forced himself upon her in this very room we are now.
Wow.
And yeah, she was so ashamed that the story is that she lit the bottom of her nightdress and woof, up it went.
Up in flames.
And it's quite funny, because every time she's been seen, the ghost, she's not even known as Scarlett. She's actually known as the girl on fire.
The girl on fire.
Yeah, because every time she's seen in flames, and usually over in that corner.
So usually in the corner. And who's seen this girl?
She's been seen by quite a few of the regulars of the pub.
Yeah.
They've seen her running through the pub, just like these flames going through the pub. But it seems to be in that corner, and a few of my audiences. Somebody, for instance, took a photograph in the complete darkness, and there was one massive orbs in that corner, which sort of was the shape of a female form.
Wow.
So it's been some strange stuff.
And when you come into this building, it feels different.
Yeah.
We were doing the VTs before, and I don't know if we were rolling or not, but I could see it bizarrely in the corner you're talking about. Smoke.
Yes. Yeah, often people say there's the smell of smoke, and they see a mist floating around inside here when there's, we all know now that public houses, there's no smoking allowed, so there's no smoke coming up from downstairs. So yeah, there has, and it's a smell of burning as well.
Yeah.
And this room also is where the chef actually killed himself in the end. So there's a strange eeriness and a strange, because these beams, one of these beams was actually the beam where he threw the rope over to hang himself.
And that beam,
Yeah.
so it has come here,
Yes.
all the way from Chester.
That's right, all the way from Chester.
They didn't get rid of it, they brought the same beam over.
They brought it here, and unfortunately, I mean, it used to have scorch marks in it where the rope had gone backwards and forwards. However, since it was done up when it was brought to here, they've actually painted over it and sort of treated the wood, so we've lost that scorch mark now, but it still has a very strange feeling around where it was.
There's another room over to our left, over there.
Yeah.
And stuff's happened in there, hasn't it?
Yeah, constantly things happen. It's supposed to be haunted, that area, by an old landlord called William.
Shall we go over now?
We should, yeah.
Let's
Let's
talk
go
about
have a
it.
look, yeah.
Come
yeah.
on then, let's
Okay,
do it.
Thank you.
Flecky, so tell us what's happened here then.
Well, I was doing a performance a couple of weeks ago, and I get quite a lot of mediums and psychics coming along to my performances, and I was telling the story about Scarlett and Thatch in that room, the chef and the maid, and then this medium got quite upset, and she said, "There's a man over there, and right in this corner where we're standing here, right here." She said, "He stood there looking at you, Flecky, and his name is William. He likes to be called Bill, but he's very upset with you." So I got a bit of a laugh from the audience. I said, "Why is he upset?" They said, "Because you've not told his story." So we used a Ouija board as part of the performance, and he told us he was 87 years of age. He was a landlord of this pub when it was in Chester, and quite upsettingly, he said he didn't know he was dead. So we had quite a mixed reaction from people. But I was sat in that room and I said, "Okay, tell William to come and join us." So we heard his footsteps walking around the floor here. All the audience heard it, and then he went and sat on one of the Chesterfield suites inside there, and you could hear his bottom sitting on the cushion.
Wow.
And that's happened 3 times now. I've asked him to come and join us. So he's incredibly active.
So if we called out for William, we could potentially hear the same thing, the footsteps
I hope
walking.
so. Yeah,
well,
I
I
hope
do,
so.
because
Yeah,
if that happens, I don't know how I'll react.
No, well, it's. I don't think there's not a negative energy. It's quite a. I think everybody. Well, I mean, the other two, the 2 suicide cases. There's quite a dismal energy there, and it's quite depressing. But this William, I think he just enjoyed being here, and he enjoyed being a landlord. And one of the audience, actually, when the performance finished, I invited them to take as many photographs as they like in this location. And somebody took a photograph through into this room, and we've caught what looks like a tall gentleman, long black coat and a bald head, and I'm sure you'll be able to show it to your viewers.
Yeah, well, we're looking at that now, and
Yeah.
I can see what you mean. It is a good figure, that.
It is, and I show that to the audiences, and it freaks a lot of people out, because there's no way that and this room was empty, and I was stood there when the photograph was taken. There's nobody in this room.
But also, this figure's quite tall in the photograph.
He is, yeah.
So it's a really...
Yeah. So we need to worry. Well, you need to worry.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, has anything else happened in here?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, we've like you were saying before when you were talking that obviously it's been in Manchester nearly 100 years.
Of course, yeah.
And it's been a favourite pub for all that time. So there's obviously many drinkers that have passed away that used to be regulars.
And maybe
here.
return.
Indeed. They're just the 2 of the stories that we actually know. But I remember on the Ouija board one week we actually said how many spirits are with us, and it said 13. So that got us all a bit worried. So I hope some of them come through tonight.
Yeah, and I can't wait.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about the stories here and what's happened.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like this could be a really active investigation.
Well, it usually is, and I hope so tonight.
Well, I do too.
Good.
With so many reports of paranormal activity from Flecky, what would Paul feel about tonight's investigation at the Shakespeare pub? Paul, the Shakespeare pub.
Yes.
Manchester. I tell you what, when you come into this building, you feel the oldly worldly feeling that it's got. And before we start our investigation tonight, we've had some food here as well, and so that was nice. And we got to feel that entire feeling that this building emits to you. And you know what? When I came up the stairs here to investigate this floor, not only did it feel strange, but the temperature dropped.
Yeah, it's a different feeling up here than it is downstairs, but with the temperature side of things, you could look at the people that are downstairs. Collectively, they're setting off a body heat, so could be warmer down there. Plus, they're probably not heating up here because there's nobody up here, so it's cooler in that respect. So I'm not going to jump to a paranormal conclusion on that. It's just a bit chillier.
It is, you know, and I'm hoping today that this building, with it being so old and it's been transported from Chester to Manchester, all of it, you know, piece by piece, maybe some of the spirits have been brought along from the old place to the new place.
Well, from what the reports are, there's nothing that's happened here in any sort of tragic way since the building's been reconstructed here in 1928. Everything dates back to when it was in Chester. So the theory is that, you know, a person, a place or an object is what's haunted. Well, this is an object, isn't it? A place. So, you know, spirits seem to have come with it, whatever the tragedy is. They've sort of soaked up by the atmosphere of the beams and the building.
And it's also not to say, Paul, yes, spirits could have moved with the building to Manchester. So they said, you know what, we're not staying in Chester, we're off to Manchester, we're going. They packed the bags. But also, doesn't mean that new spirits haven't come into this building, via potentially the regulars that may have come into this building and passed, maybe previous staff members, or whatever this site was before the pub was here.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you're cracking on for another 100 years of history since, you know, that it's been here. But I know personally that other paranormal investigations happen here, ghost walks happen here, experiments happen here, so you don't know what else could have been drawn in. You know, when you get a like-minded group of people that are looking for that same sort of thing, it's like a beacon, and then things, spirits, whatever, can be attracted
in.
Yeah, they come in because they know what is happening, so they come to have a nosy. So we could be dealing with what happened in Chester with the tragic suicide. We could be dealing with somebody or something that's been wandering and drawn in by whatever goes on here as well.
Well, we're dealing with something, you know, we're dealing with something paranormal. I hope tonight, Paul, that we've got all the gadgets, all the latest technology. Hopefully we'll be able to prove that this place is paranormally active. Maybe we'll come into direct communication with a spiritual entity tonight during our investigation.
We can only try.
We can only try.
All we always do.
Well, you know what? I think we should go and try.
Yeah.
Should we go off and start our investigation?
Let's give it a go.
Come on then.
Okay.
Now let's hear from our psychic medium in Oklahoma, Para, to find out what she feels could be haunting the Shakespeare pub.
There are at least 3 spirits in the Shakespeare pub in Manchester. The first one confused me a lot. I cannot tell where it's coming from. I cannot tell what its purpose is. It is a non-communicating spirit. It does not communicate with you whatsoever. It appeared to me as a spirit fog or spirit smoke, and it lingers on the top of the ceiling on the first floor. I could tell that it was coming down through the ceiling from the second floor, but why it's there, I don't know. It's almost like this energy doesn't believe the ceiling exists. So I almost want to say that maybe this building didn't have a second floor at one point in time because it doesn't obey the floor plan, which is strange. I did feel a small range of emotions from it. I was sad, I was depressed, and I was confused. The other thing that I felt from it was like there was clinging spider webs. Like I felt like there were spider webs clinging to my shoulder that I could reach over there, grab them, and pull them off, which is creepy. The second spirit I noticed is just stares out the second floor. It looks down through the window to the street. I couldn't tell if it was a male spirit or a female spirit because it mostly presented itself in shadow, but you could feel as though you were being watched. It may even be just a residual spirit, but you feel as though you're being watched on the second floor. The last spirit I am not a huge fan of at all. He is not very nice. It's not like he's negative, he's just a rude person in general. And he appeared to me as a floating head. I almost want to say he might have showed me just his floating head because he was just trying to be a not so nice word. He was cussing at me the whole time. He talked down to me. It's almost like he didn't like women. The way that he worded his sentences and the way that he spoke to me, it's almost like he thinks women are less of a person. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't pick on women when they come into this place. I just feel like he doesn't like women, or he thinks less of them. The things that I did see from his floating head, he is balding on top. He is balding and he has like these little wisps of hair coming over his ears. He's got very fat cheeks, very kind of like chunky face. He has very chunky face and he's got huge lips, and he just was floating around, and I could hear him. Even though I couldn't see him, I could hear him, and he'd be saying profanities to me and calling me not very nice names. He also, gotta look at my notes. He also sort of floats through the ceiling too, which is strange to me. I think he almost uses like the spirit fog energy for his own. And he doesn't float directly through the ceiling like the spirit energy does. He more floats, I almost want to say it's over more towards the bar area. He just floats on down through there, and I think he does that to scare who's ever standing behind there. He does it to make them feel creeped out. He does it to make them go, ooh, what was that, you know? And he's just not a very nice spirit. I just don't think he's I don't think he was a very nice person while he was alive, and I don't think he's a very nice spirit now. Anyways, that's all I got from the Shakespeare pub.
So let's find out if there's much ado about nothing here at the Shakespeare pub.
So I've come into this pub, this bar area. I'm going to investigate it. Now, as always, I'm going to explain what equipment I've actually got here, so you can see there's actually a lot. And just before I came into this room, it was going off and mental. So let me show you. I've got on the bar here lots of beer pumps. Now I'm joking, I've got a periscope here. Now if this periscope gets interacted by any sort of static energy, it will change colours. I'll be able to see that. It's a visual aid, and we pan to it. Over here I've got a REM pod on this chair because, whoa, I was going to come to you, I'm going to explain you in just a second. Well, I'll come to you now. There's a REM pod over here by the fireplace. There should be no interference there. And the REM pod over there. The reason I put the REM pod here is because every time I'm going to explain this beam, this REM pod keeps going off. Thank you. There's a beam here, and on this beam is apparently where the chef hung himself, and so I put this REM pod there to see if I could get an interaction. On the side here, I'll zoom in, we've got a K2 meter, it's not focusing, a K2 meter on the bar. Now, if anything comes near that, as always, it will interact, and hopefully we may pick that up. On this table over here, thank you so much. I know you're here and I know you're wanting to communicate with me. That's amazing. Thank you. I acknowledge you're here. On this table here, I can't see the button because it's at pitch black. It's an EDI meter. Whoa! Oh, that's going off as well. I just want to investigate that noise I heard behind the bar. Hello? Nothing there.
Okay, so I am in the Shakespeare pub, and I'll literally just put the equipment out. I've got a REM there, which is already going off, and I've got a REM just there. I've also got the K2 meter, and in a few minutes we'll put the Ovilus on. So There it goes again. Was that you? Can you do that again for me? Trying to make contact with either Thatch, Scarlett or William. So, try again. I'm at the Shakespeare pub. Well, there you go. Thank you. That's fantastic. Thank you. Can you step away from that, please? Step away from it now, please. That's really good. I'd like you to move away from it. Thank you. So good of you. Can you light it up if you're Scarlett? Didn't even get the question out. Right, if you're Scarlett, can you move away from it now, please? Is this Thatch? Move away from it, please. Is it William? Wow. William. Brilliant. Thank you, William.
Now this is an EDI meter, and this is currently measuring temperature, that's going off, and EMF, electromagnetic energy. That's registering, and the REM pod's registering. We're getting some crazy readings here. That is going off on its own. That is going off on its own like somebody wants to communicate. Maybe. Thank you. I'm going to move that over to here. Thank you so much. I was going to say, maybe that's the landlord spirit figure, which Flecky was talking about before, which is trying to make himself acknowledged so he knows that we can acknowledge his presence here. Nothing else is happening on the machines over there or there. Okay, if you're here and you're with me now, light up any one of these devices here. You can use thank you so much. Thank you. And as that's happening, I'm going to come real close here. We're getting a fluctuation on the EDI meter. Okay, so it's at 65.1. Okay, if you could affect this device again on here, please. Was that you? I heard that coming from behind the bar. Was that you? This noise is coming from behind the bar. The meters are going off. And noises are now happening behind the bar. It can only be paranormal.
Wow. Look at what's going on. The ovilus just said moment. The REMs, both of them, started to go off. Thank you so much. Were you telling me to just give you a moment to get ready to do that? That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Can you see the table? Can you see here? This green light. Can you try and come towards this green light? And again, it may detect your energy. And if highway. Now just outside there is a road. So perhaps there we go again. Was that you telling me I got it right? It's something to do with that road out there? You're saying highway because of the road out there? Possible. Oh my God. Possible. Can you see that? I'm hoping you can. With it being in infrared, I'm not sure if you can, but it just said possible. There you go. And that one as well. Wow, thank you so much. Absolutely fantastic. Can you move away from it now and let it go off for me, please? Country. Step away from it now, thank you. Wow. So much already.
Oh my God. That's registering, we saw that then on camera. That's registering a fluctuation in EMF. It lit up. And as you can see, the temperature is changing, it's fluctuating. That's freaking weird. Can you do that again for us? Do it again. Light it up. Change it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Are you the chef? Light it if you're the chef. Are you the barmaid? Did that just light? Yeah. Are you Scarlett? Are you Scarlett? Light it again if you're Scarlett. Thank you. Oh, and I heard that as well from over there. This is Scarlett. Scarlett, can you answer me a question, Scarlett? I'm going to ask her a question. Maybe we'll find out the real answers here. I'm going to ask her about the rape. Maybe she'll tell us if it happened, and then we'll find out about her dress. Scarlett, like this meter, have you, by the way, just so before I do say that, look, this meter, the REM pod's gone off, so nothing's now coming near that. It's interfering with this instead, and you can see the temperature's fluctuating. Like this meter, Scarlett, if you set yourself on fire. Thank you. Whoa, thank you so much. That is a real big confirmation. Thank you. Did the chef rape you? Did the chef rape you? Like this device if the chef forced himself upon you? No. Okay, look. She set herself on fire. That's what she's trying to communicate with us. And I clearly heard from behind me footsteps, like someone entered the room here.
I was clearly in communication with Scarlett, and perhaps she just confirmed she committed suicide. But what more of the story could we uncover?
Could you please try as hard as you can? Just going to put the... Well, that was weird. Just saw a flash of light on the floor then. Wow. I was just going to say, I'm going to pick the K2 up just for a moment and just see if anything registers with that. Oh, look at that again. You're doing really well. I'm going to say William, because... Oh, that was weird. I am... Now. Now. It just said now. What about now? What about now? It does feel... It does feel like something's building up. Something's building up. That just said holiday at the end of this. I'm going to need one. Thank you. Turn that off. Thank you. I've lost what I was going to say. There is just so much going on. I'm in one area. I'm in one section of this pub. And I just cannot keep up.
Are you here? Somebody came to come into this room. By the way, the meters aren't going off. Look, they've stopped. Is somebody here with me? It's going again. Has somebody else entered the room? The temperature's rising in here. Has somebody entered this room? Thank you. Are you the chef? Are you the chef? Whoa! We would have caught that on the audio. There was a noise like a roof, like a roof. Now, I heard it, but when we played that back, maybe that was a voice. I heard that. Maybe it was like a yes, a yes. Or chef, chef. Maybe it was chef. Was that you, chef? No way! I heard it again.
As I was asking if the spirit communicating was the chef, what appears to be a dark, guttural response of yes in reply to my question happens not once, but twice.
Are you the chef? Was that you, chef? No way! Are you the chef? Was that you, chef? No way!
I was trying to say, it feels like something is building up, like something's going to happen, and I don't know what, but that keeps going off. Is this you, William? If this is you, you're doing a fantastic job. Woods. Oh my God. I just cannot keep up with this at all. I'm going to put the K2 just there. Thank you. I can't bloody keep up. It's literally a bombardment. It's just one. Something there. There you go again. Absolutely brilliant. Move away from it now, please. Step away. Thank you. Oh, Gordon Bennett.
I'm going to focus in. Chef, light this device. Thank you. Chef, are you coming here to communicate with me? Did you force yourself upon Scarlett? Something's moving from behind the bar. I said that and the lights didn't light up, by the way. Something's moving behind this bar. I'm hearing physical energy shifts. Is anybody behind this bar? We heard that. I heard like a chink of glasses. What's this on the floor? What? It's a bag. Is anybody here? Anybody at all? No way. That was a very slight tap on me on one of the glasses. I'm trying to see them, it's pitch black. There's glasses up here, there's glasses down here, somewhere here. And that wasn't me. Whoa! There was whoa, thank you, that was you, was it? That was you that set them off. We're definitely in clear communication with spirit. That is clear. Thank you, turn it off. Thank you, I acknowledge your presence. Please, turn that device off. I love this. You can communicate directly with the spirits in this building. And then, I don't know if we caught that again, the EDI. There was an orb then, man. There was an orb. The EDI flashed, and then the orb. We caught that, I'm sure we did. There was an orb that flashed. Sorry, not flashed, past the EDI meter.
Don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Because what you're doing is absolutely amazing. Thank you. William, if this is you, on the count of 3, I want you to set that off. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 2.5. Don't you hate it when that happens? You're doing really well, and I'm not asking you to perform for me. That's brilliant, thank you. Tell me your name through this, please. Give me your name. Step away from that, please. Thank you. See, on command. Talk to me through this. Give me your name. Try as hard as you can just to tell me your name. If you shout it as loud as possible, that might just hear you. Set this off. Walk towards this for me. Are you still here? William? How about thatch? Lay. L-A-Y. Lay. Could be proposition.
Can you set all of the devices? I saw that. Can you set all of the devices off at the same time? You ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No? I'm going to include, we seem to be having a specific area to get activity. So, I'm going to take the periscope, paranormal scope if you like, and see if we can get this to change. We seem to be focused, that's me now setting that off, focused over here by the fireplace. Oh, maybe that's not me, that's really reacting differently, that's actually going powerfuler. It's actually, whoa, can we focus? No? Can you come over now? We've got all of these pieces of equipment right here, right now. Are you able to light them all at the same time? That's my challenge to you. Light them at the same time. 5, 4, 3, thank you for the EDI meter. 2, 1. Whoa! That came again from right behind me. What the hell was that?
Again, as I called out for a spirit to interact with our equipment, just as I count down from 5 to 1, a clear voice can be heard saying 5 before I say 5. Is this a spirit communicating with me?
Light them at the same time. 5, light them at the same time. 5.
You're doing absolutely amazingly. Can't tell you how impressed I am. Thank you so much. There we go again. Absolutely amazing. Now step away from it again, please. Thank you. You see, that's intelligent. You can't time these things. So it's not like I'm saying on the count of 3 in my head it will go off, so I'll just time my question correctly, or my command or whatever. It's amazing. Oh, there we go again. Ah, short burst. I didn't even get a chance to say anything. Bloody hell. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you. William, if... Descend. Now, I'm on the first floor. So there's a floor below. I'm wondering if it wants me to go down. You're doing such a good job. William, if this is you, make a noise in here for me. Beware. Now I just went silent for a moment because it sounded like somebody was walking. This is an old wooden floor, but it's carpeted. But you know when floorboards creak? Thank you. Move away from that for a second. Thank you. Again, on command. And that's just said beware. Just before I heard the footsteps coming up.
Some weird stuff going on here at the Shakespeare pub. Really weird. Whoa, thank you. Look. Thank you. You're just teasing me now. Is this... Who's that flashing at EDI? Am I dealing with Scarlet? Give me a clear... Yes. Thank you, Scarlet. And if you followed this building from Chester... 4... No way did that just happen. Jesus. We would have got the audio of that. That was somebody sat down next to me on this chair. I feel the heckles going up on my neck now, on my face. My face just feels heckly. Hold on a sec. if you just sat down next to me, do that again now. I dare you, sit down next to me, or sit down, visually sit down so I can see you, or stand up, come on. Do it again. Come on. Come and do that again. Let me just make the noise on this chair. I'm sure that was the noise. That was weird.
Oh, the K2's lighting up a little bit more now. That's really good. Are you building some energy? There we go, look at that. Okay, and the Ovilus has said story. The K2's lighting up. Can you light it up all the way to red? Come as close as possible to that to make it light up red. You're doing an amazing job. A little bit more for me, please. You can do it. You can do it. A little bit more. Orange, there you go. Keep going. Build that energy up for me. You're so close now. Keep going. Oh, and there's the REM as well. I'm going to try and keep both of them in shot. Fantastic. So good. K2 has sat here for as long as I've been recording, and it's only just started to light up. Doing an amazing job. You really are. A little bit more. Take it to orange again for me. Take it to orange. There you go. Thank you. So good. One more time. One more time. Up to orange. One more time for me. Go on, go on, go on. You're nearly there. Oh, just onto orange. Once. I'll accept it just as a flash. Go. Come on. Go, 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 go. Nearly there. Come on. Go, 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 go. Oh, you're doing so well. You're so close. The Ovilus said story a moment ago. We have the word story on there. Is this you, William? Are you trying to tell us your story? There you go. Called out by name. And the REM responds. Send. Send what? Send your energy? Oh, you are absolutely amazing. You have done such a good job tonight. Can't begin to tell you how pleased I am, how excited I am by what you've done. One more go. One more. Light the REM up. Light the K2 up. Take it to orange one more time. You can do it. One more time. There you go. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you now. Give you a rest. Thank you. You have been spectacular. Thank you, William.
Paul, wow, what a weird and amazing night here at Shakespeare's pub.
It's been pretty good, hasn't it?
It has, hasn't it?
I've enjoyed it because I think for quite a while we've had the most interaction with the equipment. We broke out more than we have done in one place for a long time.
Well, I had an experience in here in myself. The equipment was going off. I'm sure, which we would have played back by now, there was a voice caught in this very room.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was the chef. I think it could be.
Yeah.
And also, like Flecky said earlier, somebody sits on a chair. William sits on a chair.
Yeah.
I heard it. We have to have caught that.
Yeah.
That was real stuff that's happening here. This has to be, I know we say it on a few locations, but one of the most active pubs we've ever been to.
I think, and correct me if you're wrong, but I think it's going up. Each place we go to, there's a bit more. I don't know whether it's our reputation in the spirit world. They're saying these are the guys to go to, but we are getting more and more everywhere we're going.
Everywhere we're going, and for me, the validation of evidence tonight at this location has been amazing.
Yeah, I've had a great night, and I think so much more potential here. Maybe in the future come back.
Come back and investigate further.
Yeah.
So, from all of us at Ghost Dimension Flying Solo, thank you for watching, and it's time for me and Paul to have a beer and get out of here.